So yeah, my name is Dmitry, and I I'm making games for about 15 years right now, and I started back in 2012, maybe a bit earlier, maybe I don't know. And the company called Nival, it's famous. Maybe you for you maybe the most well-known game will be Heroes of Might and Magic 5. We made it for Ubisoft. Also released our own, like not our own, their own Silent Storm, Blitzkrieg, and so on. So it was long time ago. After that, I started my own company, tried to do some stuff, and it didn't went well. I back to the uh, how is it work for hire. Spent half a year, make some savings, and again jumped into my own journey.
Oh wow.
And this story happens like three or maybe four times before the first project actually flew up. Not flew up. I also really sorry for my English, and
No, no, you're
but
great.
please bear with me. Um, so yeah, the first project we actually delivered successfully and made some money on it. It was called Basement. We started in 2014 or something, and it's drug dealing strategy game. And back then it was um not Better Call Saul, but the like original one, Breaking Bad TV series, just finished the last season, or again,
So it was timely.
I'm
It was timely with Breaking
yes,
Bad.
yes,
You guys kind of had
yes.
inspiration from the series.
Uh,
You guys,
well,
you were kind of like Schedule
yeah,
1, but back in 2014.
hmm yeah. It was a different company, different people, yet it was the first project which I participated in, and which actually, uh, well, it was successful in many ways. We you always want more, but we made some money. We have a good review, and people were happy about this game. We have a successful Kickstarter before we started. So yeah, that was maybe the start of my personal journey. Um, for the past 5 or already 7 years, I'm trying to again with different teams, different setups, and different companies. You try to repeat success or at least deliver something. And Final Sentence is the first thing which actually went viral, which actually gets some traction. At least for now, we will see how it goes, because it's still a few months until release. And yeah, also I'm talking about myself, but Final Sentence is developed, or we continue developing it with two other people, Alex, our programmer, who is in Germany, and Slava or Vyacheslav, who is our artist, let's say creative director, who is in Georgia, but it's not the state of Georgia, but like
Yeah.
country.
So it's a very small team, very very indie team. You've been making video games, like you said, for around 15 years.
15,
You've had
yeah.
worked for several different companies, but it seems like you've always wanted to work for yourself, and like that's always been the end goal for you is to make games for yourself. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, before I started making games, I'm not this kind of person who, like, I wanted to make games since I was 6. No, I'm engineer. I'm not engineer programmer or just programmer. I'm tech guy, and my passion always was computers. And it doesn't matter what to do since it's have to do with computers. And before start making games, I worked other as programmer, and I go or went into video games just occasionally, or it was pretty much random. But after that, after you inside, there's no way you want to do something else. And I already forget where we started.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just trying to kind of recant like your journey, right? And so your goal
Mhm.
ultimately being to make video games for yourself. And so what was it that like drew you to making video games? Like you said, you were, a tech guy, computer guy, and then eventually you got into video games a little later. So what was it that
Mhm.
first drew you to video games where you saw and you were like, "Whoa, I want to do this."
I'm not sure that there is like one particular moment in time which split your life before game dev and after game dev. At least for me, there is no single video game which changed my mind completely. And if you have to choose like one event or person or whatever to say this was the biggest impact on me, it was actually Unity engine. Again, the interesting part is uh, when you start working on games, when you start working with other people. This is the part which trigger me the most. Maybe it's a bit weird for programmer to talk about other people because we don't usually like to talk to people. Yeah, people are too complicated, too complex. The computers are simple and understandable, at least like in theory. Modern CPUs uh,
So
are messy.
so Unity is a good part of the reason of why you started making these games, and then you start seeing what other people can also, when you work with other people, what you can actually make, and so you enjoy that
Yep.
that camaraderie, like working in a team atmosphere, and so you start
Yep.
button mash, which is now making what we're here for, Final Sentence. And so you mentioned it earlier, but can you go into more details? There's three devs working on this game. Can you just tell me what each of those devs, including yourself, does, and then
Mhm.
how long you've been working on this project?
Yep. Yep. Uh, there is also a backstory for this backstory. People are get bored or tired or burn out, and what what do you do when you get tired? We making another game. Like guys, let's do a game jam. Yeah. So we switch for a week for a completely different project. And this is the moment where Final Sentence actually was born or started as something real.
Okay,
Because
so
before that, it was,
you guys were making
yeah,
something else, and then you were like,
yes,
we need a creative blast, and so we're gonna take a break from this, and then that's how Final Sentence came to be.
yep, exactly. We made like internal in company game jam for 1 week, and it was much more people than we have right now. I mean, we have two programmers, one guy who also semi-programmer, semi DevOps or system administrator, who was responsible for like backend and all the server stuff. Two 3D modelers, me as a sort of game designer and the guy who came up with idea, and my current partner or co-founder of Button Mesh, Slava, who also on the art side. So from that time, from that team, only he still continue working on Final Sentence right now. We started it. We spent 1 week on this project, and we put it on freeze and just continue work on what we worked before. Um, but yeah, it was the starting point. After that, almost 2 years passed. Here in Lithuania, game game accelerator happens. I know started. It was initiative of Lithuanian government and Ministry of Culture and some partners from Spain. They called Game BCN something. So they organized first game development accelerator here in Lithuania, and they provided government funding together with this acceleration program. For us as a guys who are already working on games for a long, long time, the acceleration program was obviously it's not something you usually looking for because you have enough big enough network and so on. But money which allow us to finish this project was a good incentive to apply for acceleration program. And because we think about this game as a small little game about typing, there is no like uh, obviously there is huge backlog and huge to-do list with all stuff you want to do, but still it's like small project. The money they offer will also really like, but it was decent or enough for this project to apply. And that the moment where we actually could uh, could call the start of this project full-time development since December 24.
Okay, gotcha. So
Yeah,
help with
and
the acceleration funds, and so about a almost a year it's been worked on, but the idea came
yeah,
about in 2023.
yeah, yeah.
And so,
And right now, yeah, sorry.
oh, sorry, no, you can finish it.
No, you ask about the team, the current team,
Yeah, yeah.
and um, so it's three people who work on the project full time, including me. We also obviously have like one guy who helped us with the music. He's from Ukraine, and well, right now we're trying to reach a few people who could help us with actual prompts because current prompts were developed by us, and I mean text prompts we ask you to type, and we want to have a lot more. And I guess many other people will be involved in the project before release.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, but current composition, I'm working as still working as a programmer. Let's say 10 to 15% of the time. I'm responsible for the backend and all the infrastructure because the game use dedicated servers. Sometimes where you need small little fixes on client side is also, but mostly I'm the business guy and all hands guy.
And
Again, it's
and now
three people team.
now you're the interviewer.
Yeah,
You're going to be the
but
face.
tomorrow it could be Alex
Yeah.
or Vyacheslav. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, we all do all the stuff
I'm sure. I'm
all the
sure.
time.
So for someone who somehow hasn't like played the demo or just has only seen clips at a very base level, how would you describe your game? Obviously it's a typing battle royale, but how would you describe it?
I'm really bad on like tagline description, blurbs, so I give you a few sentences. Um,
Ironically.
oh yeah. By the way, the title is also our programmer or Alex was responsible for this particular title
Final
because the
sense.
working title for the game, yeah, it was the end, like allegory to this phrase writers usually finish their books like the
Oh,
end.
so it was the end, but then he said, "Let's do
Yes,
final sentence."
yes,
Final sentence
yes.
is a great name.
Uh, so proud to Alex. Um, yeah. So as for the game, imagine you appear in a hangar where 40 other people sitting in front of the tables. There is a typewriter machine, on the table, and there is a guy in dark coat staying in front of you. The prompt appear on the screen. All you can do is start typing, and you start type. You make one mistake. The guy pulled the gun. You made second mistake. The guy point the gun at you. You made third mistake, and the guy put the bullet into a barrel, spin it, and try to kill you. That's it. That's the whole premise of the game. The first guy who finished the text will be the winner. All the rest will be eliminated or killed, shot. Again, I'm not really good at words.
Uh, no,
That's the game.
it's a very base premise, but it obviously has gone viral because it's also a very intense thing that plays on so many different things. Like, not only is it technically a battle royale, and of course
Mhm.
it's a video game, but it also kind of pulls back to, I don't know about your childhood, but growing up, we had a lot of typing lessons. Learning typing is a
Mhm.
very base skill for a lot of people, and so it kind of pulls that up. And obviously, a lot of people who play on computer and whatnot, they're typing every day, so it applies to a lot of people out there. And then, of course, you add the element of like 3 mistakes and you die. It's a pretty catchy game, and so
Mhm.
it's understandable why it caught on. So when you post this demo, and all of a sudden the trailer starts going viral, what is the reaction for you guys in your team? Like, you said you didn't expect it. So how, when the numbers start going up and you start seeing the view counts of like, whoa, something's happening, what's the reaction for you guys?
Um, to be honest, we didn't have a chance to really like comprehend this because immediately after the game went viral, we started to have a huge load to the servers and all all the thing. I mean, all I do for the rest 5 days, 1 week, I don't even know where when we launched the demo because I I believe we do it before Steam Next Fest, and all this time the only thing I do is to try and to support the game that it just so it just could even work under this law. We didn't expect so much people could play simultaneously, especially during the stream when someone like famous guy start streaming new game and 40,000 people watch the stream and also trying to press this play button together with the guy who are watching. Like we almost done on this moment. Uh,
So you almost, it almost failed because it became too popular too fast.
exactly, and it, even though you could scale up the servers, you couldn't scale up yourself. It's only three guys, and if we, I mean,
You couldn't
it's
scale up
basically
yourself.
impossible.
Yeah, you couldn't clone yourself. Yeah, it's just 3 guys, and all of a
Yes,
sudden,
yes.
that's awesome. And so when you talked about your previous game, The Basement, Breaking Bad was the inspiration for that drug dealing
Hmm.
game. For Final Sentence, do you remember like the initial inspiration during that game jam of like how did you think of
Yes,
this? Because back to that game jam, I mean, battle royales were a hot topic, but who thought of this and how? Like, any inspirations that were around then?
I'm. That's the funny part. I'm trying to figure out if the Buckshot Roulette was released back then. Because if it was, it definitely was the main inspiration. Yes, Squid Game, obviously, and I mean TV series and Buckshot Roulette. But I'm still trying to figure out maybe Buckshot Roulette wasn't available yet when I came up with idea, but it definitely should be. So this is the formula for the game,
Yeah, even then though, because
and
like obviously roulette and then a battle royale, but to combine these ideas, it definitely, someone had to be clicking something that day where they were like, "What if we did this, this, and this together?" Because individually it all makes sense, but
Mhm.
I wish I could like birds look down on that room and be like, "Oh, when the moment came together, how that went down." It's a very interesting concept.
Thank you. Uh, I mean, it was this type of ideas which came up in your head when you like just what if we play battle royale with typewriters, and that's it. There was not a huge
And
background
then one guy in
there.
the back is like, "What if we add a gun?" And and
Yes,
he's pointing it
yes,
at you.
yes. I remember I tell the story of this, not the story, the premise, the idea of this game. We were on a game conference called Reboot Develop something in Croatia. And the guy is a developer of Replace, this beautiful pixel art platformer, like cinematic platformer. And we staying on, it was a party in parking lot, like 2 floors below the ground. It's almost impossible to hear something at all because the music was too loud and the parking lot, so echo, reverberation, and all this stuff. And I'm trying to explain him how this game work, and I always put the gun in his faces. Like, what are you trying to do? Why are you pointing the
The
fingers
music is bumping, and you're just
to me?
like, so
Yes, yes, yes. It's so weird.
That's awesome. Closing question. Sorry. When it came to like the data side, with this game blowing up, are you tracking like, is it just like demo plays? Is it number of players that you've had? Number of wish lists? Is there any amount of data you can share with us that you guys received from these past few days?
Yes, sure. We actually working with the publisher who the most transparent publisher you ever seen. They publish public their revenue from every single game
I love that.
they release. So yeah, right now as we're talking, let me even check that right from the Steam console. Last time I checked, we gathered 100,000 wishlist. That's for sure. That was yesterday.
Oh, you broke
Uh,
100K. Let's go. That's a big milestone.
yeah. And the actual number of people who played the game was like 200,000.
Wow.
The last time I checked database, yes. And yeah, you definitely could see the peak CCU. It wasn't like so big, like 2000 something, but it was enough to be the sixth most popular demo on Next
Nice.
Fest. So yeah,
That's a pretty high
I
that's a pretty high conversion. 200,000 players and 100,000 wish lists.
we gathered 10,000 when we just published our first trailer, which was the cinematic one,
Mm,
back in January. And all the rest, like 19,000, it pretty much all of it just in last week. So we gather like 15,000 every single day for the past couple days. And yeah, uh, the most thing I'm happy about is that people excuse us because we have so many bugs and nasty bugs. When you, for example, you won the session, you type the last character, you first, and the game just close, put you into main menu and say something. Oh, please try again. So the people doesn't even have a chance to see result screen yet. Thanks to everyone who give us positive review on Steam, and that's uh,
I think luckily we're also in a time where people realize you guys are indie devs and there's just three of you trying to work on this game. And so there should be some leniency of understanding this is a great concept and very well could be a great game. And people got to realize that when it's just three people making a game, there's going to be some bugs, there's going to be some issues. And so I think that's the beauty of the modern day gaming culture. They do know that. Like
mhm.
they do like what they're seeing, and there's going to be some issues, and I think they understand that. Speaking of which, so my last question for you is: with all of this feedback, I'm sure you've gotten tons of feedback, tons of constructive feedback too. What's next for you guys? I imagine you now have some ideas of what you want to add to the final product. So, what can people expect, or what exactly is your end goal with Final Sentence, if you could share anything?
Well, here I'd like to keep some kind of secrecy,
Yeah.
just a little bit, because it's not too far away until the full release. So we obviously couldn't deliver all we want. There will be features that people requested. Like basically, for the second part of my work is just to process all the feedback we collected. Even before Steam Next Fest, we gathered 747 field survey forms, which insanely long. I don't understand why people even bother to fill all these forms we asked them. Uh, and I still didn't have a chance to process this form. And immediately after that, we put them on the next fest, and now we gather feedback on a Discord, on a Steam community forums, and in reviews themselves. I'm still collecting that and processing that, and from what I already gathered, uh, pretty much half of that was already on our to-do list. So obviously people want to play like customized lobby with customized settings. Not everyone want to be shot with I know first bullet with 1/6 chance. So you will be able to disable some settings or change some, like allows you to make a little bit more mistakes. New prompts, obviously, there will be much more, and some other features. Again, I keep in secret for now, just for the sake of surprise.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna end it there. That was amazing, man.